The Bears.
Welcome in, everyone, to Barely Educated. As regular listeners know, we are the podcast by Bears fans, for Bears fans. We're just a couple of meatballs trying to figure out the beloved Chicago Bears. As we record this on a Friday late morning, on the eve of Bears, almost the eve of Bears hosting the Giants. We are here to talk about that game and preview some other games in the North. As always, I am Mark, joined by Chris. Chris, how are you?
Oh, good. Friday. Already had one meeting this morning. How could it get any better than that, right? But yeah, still
Just
basking
no
in
more
that.
meetings.
Yeah. Still basking in that crazy Bears win from last Sunday. It's been fun to
That's
go
right.
back and watch highlights and rewatch things and hear different commentator reactions, like the Jeff Joniak call on the radio. That was pretty cool to hear, and fan reactions on YouTube were pretty hilarious. So yeah, it's been fun to go back and revisit it.
I have this like love-hate relationship with the point you're making because it is so much fun to consume the Bears in any related Bears content after a game like that. I mean, 47-42, when did the Bears play that game, let
Yeah.
alone win it? Let alone almost a walk-off touchdown. I mean, about as close as it will get to a walk-off touchdown when you're just trying to get in position for Cairo Santos to miss the field goal. And and I love it.
In his defense, it'd be blocked,
But,
not missed.
yeah, but the flip side of it is, what does this mean when they have another crappy loss? Because it's like, does the reverse apply? Like, now the week stinks and I don't really want to listen to anything. It's like, that's why I say I have a love-hate relationship with the point you're making.
Yeah.
But I would just tell everybody, enjoy it now. Enjoy it while you can, and enjoy what I think we're getting from this team, which is the first little steps of the ascent.
Yeah.
It's that Bernstein point he used to make, where the best thing is winning a championship. The next most fun thing is when you finally start to get out of the mire and you start to have a good young team. And you're not yet angst-ridden about whether this roster will finally win it all because it's the first time they've gotten decent. And you watch them ascend to the next step. And then it starts to be angsty because you're like, are we going to get one or not after like 3 years or whatever? We're in, I think, possibly in one of those really fun phases as this starts to come together. Now, there are some caveats. I think the biggest caveat is they've played a bunch of mediocre defenses. But they've also done what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals suck. Yeah, they put up 47 points and 600 yards. What do you want?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what they're
Exactly
supposed to
right.
do. But
Exactly right.
the consistency needs to be demonstrated, and games in the 30s, let's say, obviously we're not expecting 47 every week, but let's say the 30s against better teams, high 20s against good defenses. You want to see stuff like that. So last time they played a defense that's talented, they were banged up prior to, so their stats weren't good, but there's a ton of talent on it. It was the Ravens, and they couldn't finish in the red zone.
Yep.
So I'm not getting out in front of my skis on this whole thing just yet, but I'm just trying to encourage everybody, enjoy the come up, right? Enjoy the we're getting there, guys. We're still in the blob, but we've got a hand bursting through the embryonic fluid, right? We are maybe emerging out of the primordial soup before this year's over.
Wow,
And
that's
normally we are trying to find our way to the blob. Last year, the Bears are wandering around in a concussed circle with a coach. If he had a concussion, you wouldn't even know it. And we weren't even in the blob.
not even in the.
So yeah, enjoy this.
Been a couple of years since we've been in the blob, actually.
Yeah, we're back, and we might
And,
be getting out of it next year. I think it's probably next year. Let's be fair.
yeah, but and if
Like, is a wild card team still in the blob? Are they really championship contenders if they're wild card teams
yeah, probably
that
it's
haven't won a Super Bowl recently? Like, if the Chiefs are a wild card team, Yes.
Yeah,
If, I don't know,
Denver.
the Vikings somehow become a wild card team, I'm not calling them a championship contender. So I think the blob is huge. But
Yes,
at 5-3, they've mostly taken care of business, and it could even be a better record. You could definitely go there with 6-2 with the Vikings game. But I digress. We have a little segment we like to do before we preview the game called After Further Review, where we have a chance now during the week to have watched film watchers watch film. How much film would a film watcher watch if a film watcher could watch film? How was that first try?
nicely done.
And we were told by Lawrence not to do it, which is interesting because the head coach talked about doing it. It's still the dumbest thing I've ever heard on the radio. So, do you have anything you want to change about your
Yes,
thoughts from Sunday's game?
I do. And this is not an observation I made on my own. It was pointed out on a podcast I listened to, the Dan Bernstein's new podcast. I had said after the game that Roma Dunze had a bad game because he had no catches and no yards, obviously. But however, he was fantastic in the run game as a blocker, and even in the pass game as well. He was knocking people. He not you want your wide receiver to catch the ball, of course, but you also want good blocking from your wide receivers, and he did a great job blocking. So I am taking my bad label off Rome because of that.
I think it's both things are true. I still think he stunk for the two drops in the past game, but
That's
he
fair.
definitely run blocked like a boss.
Yeah,
I am not taking anything back.
fine. Yep.
I am going to add a couple things though, and maybe take one thing back. Let me rephrase that. I have to do the same thing with Theo that I just did with Rome.
Okay.
Theo stunk in pass pro again. He's just going to need help. It's just not going to be good enough against mostly anyone. However, he was awesome in the run game again. So sort of like Rome's day in that sense. The only thing that really worries me there is Ben said in the summer sometime that the left tackle's viewed primarily as a pass blocker for his offense, and they're starting one who's way better at run blocking. This is both a concern and perhaps a reason for optimism moving forward because presumably he'll get the kind of left tackle he wants and the offense will look even better.
Yeah,
And they already lead the league in explosive plays.
that's amazing. The Chicago
I'm
Bears.
like, what? Who? The Bears? Are we serious?
Hmm.
Otherwise, I think what we said was mostly accurate. I think there's some other fun things that have come out of that game, but I'm not like, oh, I got to change my mind on that. I mean, we all missed the Darnell Wright cartwheel. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
330 pounds and he's cartwheeling in celebration.
it was good
The
too.
vibes are good, man.
It
The
was.
vibes are good.
And that was he got vertical on that too. It's not like it was a sideways legs, big guy cartwheel. He got full vertical rotation there. Impressive.
Well, do you remember the clip that was viral when he was a rookie and they went to like a Bulls game and got to shoot around before? And he's like dribbling between the legs, step back threes. He's like an outrageous athlete,
Wow.
not just a tackle. Like he's just flat out athletic. And it's funny because of how huge he is. Just God bless him. He's doing cartwheels. Okay, just don't get hurt. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just don't get hurt. Um, so yeah, I think we don't have a whole lot else to say about that game. It was fun. I think the matchup stunk for the defense with its injuries, and they tried to blow the game and didn't. And Caleb and Loveland deserve a tremendous amount of credit. Loveland got Offensive Player of the Week in the conference.
Yes. Congrats.
Not rookie, like everyone.
Mm-hmm. First time I
And
first time since Jeremy Shockey in 2003 that a rookie tight end won Offensive Player of the Week. So it's been a while.
lovely nugget,
Yeah, 20 years.
20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a while. Yeah, anyway, those are some numbers. It's gonna be John's job. Um, I want to now do the week that was. We also sometimes do that.
Yep.
Despite Rome's father's best efforts, there is no real drama with this team. Couldn't say that this time last year.
Yes.
You saw that where James Adunze retweeted someone saying the Bears should trade him because he doesn't get enough targets.
I did
What
not
an
see that.
idiot.
Wow.
I have no relationship with his father, so I can say stuff that Rome can't. That's just stupid. He leads the team in targets, and he had 2 drops. Shut up. I
Yep.
need to take you to the Jaquan Brisker school of just please shut up for a while. Just stop
Touchdown
talking,
receptions
both
too,
of you.
right? He leads the Bears.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, DJ Moore's percentage is way better, and he's getting touches in the ground game. DJ's not got the drops, but this idea that Rome is like being ignored in the Bears' offense is nonsense. And Rome, bless his heart, came out and actually said exactly what I thought he should say, which is, "I love being a Bear. I'm happy with my role. We had a great game as a team. I love Dad, but I don't share his thoughts on that or whatever. That's his
Hmm.
thoughts, and I love him, but no."
Okay.
That's my paraphrase of it. So good on him. Otherwise, I have a couple of Twitter nuggets for the dear listener and you.
Yep.
Kristen Tanis, just a tremendous follow.
Yeah, good follow.
One of the top 3 Bears accounts to follow. I'm begging everybody, quit following trolling media members and national folks and follow the fans who are really obsessed with this stuff. They make amazing points. I'm dead serious. They're some of them are transitioning into being in a media role, but like she's great. So after that debacle of a football game last night, where the mighty Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos won 10-7,
Ah,
lots of people on Twitter were making comparisons to Bo Nix and Caleb and basically saying Bo's better still and all this.
oh my.
So as she does, she decided to commit a homicidal act against this take and just kill everyone who thinks it, which is why she's phenomenal. She says Caleb and Ben put up 25 points against the Raiders. Common opponent. Okay. 10 for the Broncos, 25 for the Bears. They have played 8 games together. The 2025 Bears offense, get this, everyone. These are all per game, the first 2, because of bye weeks. So you don't do the total right now because byes throw it off. Per game, the Bears offense is 4th in total yards. We can all stop complaining about the offense. 6th in points per game.
Top 10 in both of those.
And that's without a great red zone game. I mean, if there's
Yeah.
anything that they're weak at, it's still the red zone. 4th in total yards, 6th in points, 2nd in explosive play rate. There's a team ahead of them. I'm not sure who that also has had a bye, but the Bears actually have more explosive plays, but that's because the Bears have more plays. So like they're 2nd in the rate, which is still awesome. Who cares? Meanwhile, Sean Payton and Bo Nix have played 28 games together, so that's 20 games more. And the Broncos 2025 offense in those same metrics that the Bears were 4th, 6th, and 2nd, the Broncos are 15th, 17th, and 15th.
Well,
The Broncos also get short fields from their top shelf defense, which, by the way, if Bo's playing well at all, their defense is good enough to win a championship. Their defense is 2nd in yards per game, 1st in punts per play. The Bears defense, as we all know, is totally decimated by injury. She continues. The Bears defense is 26th in yards per game and 29th in punts per play, which means they don't force any punts.
hmm.
And then she continues, and I quote, Broncos top defense, great pass catchers, and #1 O line are all carrying Bo. So if that's what you mean about Bo being in the best situation with Sean, sure, I can buy that. Bo's in the wheelbarrow. But
Oh,
if you're talking about which QB is pushing the wheelbarrow and on his team more, it's clearly Caleb with Ben 8 games in. I'd much rather have Caleb as my franchise QB than Bo Nix. It's hard to win in the playoffs when your QB is in the wheelbarrow. We saw that, and here's the clincher. Hold on to your heart. We saw that in 2018 with Mitch.
oh,
It's okay. It's right. Point it out.
that's never gonna stop.
So just some fun
Yeah,
with the
and I,
national narratives and with
I,
some actual data behind it too.
yeah, that's great. She is a fantastic follow. I hadn't watched much Bo Nix or the Broncos all year, so I was looking forward to last night. They were at home last night and only put up 10 on the Raiders. And Bo Nix made some really, really poor decisions. Like I was shocked and even a little offended that there were people saying that he's better than Caleb. You know, we don't know. It's still too early to say. It's still too early to rank out this draft. But I don't know what you're looking at or what you're watching if you watch both quarterbacks and come away and say, "Oh yeah, he's Bo Nix is much better." That's another guy the Bears should have taken over Caleb. And I'm just wondering how long are we going to have to do this? How long do we have to put up with this? It was Jaden Daniels last year. That's going away for some unfortunate reasons right now, but it's going away. Bo Nix is up, and Drake May is probably the biggest one right now. Like, Bears took the wrong guy there too. So Michael Penix will at some point we'll hear that about that too, that the Bears picked the wrong guy.
I don't know about that one. It's not looking so hot in
I'm just
Atlanta.
don't
They're about to do the
underestimate.
whole get him a new coach thing.
Mm-hmm. So I
But
is
yeah, I see what you're saying for sure. I shared that because she had good data in there that is fun to
yes,
talk about as a Bears fan with the offensive ranks too.
right.
But the simple truth is she's pushing back against the bad narrative. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for it. My guy Stark Kyle Orton does it all the time too. Another phenomenal follow.
Yes.
But what I would encourage us all to do is not compare him to these other quarterbacks in that class. For one thing, we don't have a Mahomes, holy cow, he's so much better than everyone else scenario here. We looks like we have a bunch of, at minimum, pretty good ones and a couple that might be great.
Yeah.
This is great for the league. Like if
Yes.
Caleb's great and Drake May is great, then that's awesome for all of us.
Yeah.
But I would encourage us to compare Caleb to what Caleb was. That's the part I care about.
When you say that,
And what I see is a quarterback who needs to step up more and started to do it in the second half. I think they got to him at halftime on this. He needs to set his feet a little more and fix some of the accuracy in the short and intermediate throws. But the deep ball's been fixed. The sack rate's been fixed. Things that were massive issues last year are already seeing improvement with this pairing with Ben Johnson. And Caleb seems to be making good changes at the line. He's called into a couple of those big runs and then don't see anyone giving him any credit for it. I think he's growing at a perfectly reasonable rate. And this time next year, we're going to be really happy with this marriage. And that was my goal coming into this season. I wanted to know if this marriage was going to work. I wanted to feel good about the two most important positions on the team, quarterback and head coach. And Caleb has his ups and downs, but I feel pretty good about him. And other than the one or two games where he turtled up in the red zone, Ben's been absolutely amazing. I think it's safe to say he's not going to have that issue moving forward. They got the coach. I'll say it already.
yep.
If they win Sunday, they will have surpassed any Matt Eberflus. I mean, last year's Matt Eberflus already, and the 10-loss streak is off the table for the season. You're like, it's already off the table. Like this is already tremendous progress. I say all that because, guys, you know how bad you had to be as a roster to lose 10 in a row.
Yeah.
He's still working with a flawed roster, even with some like the interior O line got fixed. Left tackle and the edge rusher opposite Montez are not fixed.
Yep.
With all the injuries, the secondary is way worse. And now we should talk about the whole coaching staff. They're all doing a pretty darn good job. When do we ever actually like the head coach, both coordinators, and a couple of the key position coaches like O line and secondary? They're all good. We never get this. Lovey never could solve this.
Right.
Never had the coordinator on the other side of the ball.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if they only win 8 games this year, so what? If it's because Caleb and Ben look good and the defense doesn't, so what?
And,
They are cooking for the long haul here,
right.
and it's still fun this year.
Mm-hmm. And 8 wins would be 3 over last year. That's good progress. So I hope it's more than 8, but it'd be hard to be disappointed with 8. Should
Exactly. I mean, I'm just not going to get mad about it based on where they're at with this. But the schedule does get harder, and that brings us to this week's game. If you guys are determined to be serious wild card contenders, you have to beat the Giants.
right.
I mean, this is like, oh, they lost. You can probably forget about this sneaky playoff team stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's go through it really fast, just so it's perfectly clear to everybody. This is the remaining schedule. And you never know, right, what injuries are going to do. We just got the Burrowless Bengals,
Mm-hmm.
which we beat, but we lost to the Huntley-led Ravens. So you never know. Home for the Giants, at Minnesota, home for the Steelers, at the Eagles, at the Packers. After the Giants game, You have two games that I would call toss-ups at Minnesota and home for the Steelers, because I don't know which version of any of those teams is showing up.
Hmm.
Two games that are likely losses and you won't be favored in at Philly, at Green Bay.
Right.
A game you will be favored in, home for the Browns. Home for the Packers, probably Packers by 3 kind of a line, but maybe not if the Bears earn some love. And then you have at Niners home for the Lions, and they're not going to be favored at the Niners, and they're not going to be favored at home against the Lions probably.
Hmm.
So they can win those. I'm not saying they can't steal some games, but it's unrealistic to think if you lose this game, you're still a wild card team because the Giants are 2-7, and you got to finish off this stretch of not so great opponents,
Yep.
as it turns out, because of the Bengals and the Commanders having issues. But you got to finish off this stretch where only the Ravens were really all that good with one more win. And the Bears are favored by 4.5, so that should tell us something.
Yeah, that's cool. They should be, I think.
So, shall we look at the Giants by the numbers?
Let's do it. Yes.
Now, they have played one more game than the Bears, so again, I'm going to do this by the averages.
Yeah.
Okay. When the Bears are on defense and the Giants have the ball, it's the resistible force and the movable object. They're 18th overall. The Bears are 26th yards per game. In the
Ooh.
passing game, they're 19th. Bears are 23rd. In the run game, they're 14th. Bears 25th. If all of that holds, that means the key is the Bears got to stop the run and make them one dimensional.
Hmm.
All right. When the Bears have the ball, who, buddy? This is where you better win this game. Bears offense, third per
Oh,
this metric. Giants defense, 29th. That's yards per game
yeah,
on the
yeah.
official NFL stat
That's
line.
pretty big discrepancy
Passing
there.
the Bears are 10th. Yeah, passing the Bears are 10th. Giants are 24th. Rushing, despite how the season started, rushing. Bears are second per game. Doesn't count QBs, I don't think. And the Giants are 31st defensively. You have a massive advantage when you have the ball. And you have a head coach who loves to pound the rock and a team that gives up a ton of rushing yards that has a great pass rush, but those guys are not stopping the run well, apparently. I think we know the game plan.
Yep. Uh, Probably going to see lots of run and play action. Yep. And that's what you should do against
Yep.
the 31st.
Jackson. Yep. The Giants have Scadaboo out for the year.
Oh,
Jackson Dart's had a nice rookie year by the numbers at least. 10 TDs, 3 interceptions,
that's good.
1,100 yards, but he didn't start right away. So he's playing pretty well. But I still think this game is there for you because of the offense having this huge advantage.
Hmm. I would agree. Did you see
So
Scadaboo's
I've got the
injury?
Bears.
Oh, that was brutal.
What's that?
Did you see Scadaboo's
Oh,
injury?
it was terrible.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry, go
did.
ahead. Go ahead. You're.
The guys, the Barstool guys on Part of My Take, which is like the only thing I listen to on that network, we're joking about how Scadaboo's going to try to get out there in the wheelchair. They're like, yeah, he's trying to like get reps on the practice squad in the wheelchair. Just let me do it, coach.
Oh,
It's like, she's the perfect meatball, that guy.
yep.
But he'd be the kind of back that would kill this defense too. So I
Hmm.
guess they caught a break there. But I've got the Bears 31 or something like that to, I don't know, 19 or 20. I think this is a little more comfy than the last win. I don't think we
I
should
sure hope
expect
so.
another 40-point explosion. But I think the way Ben has been coaching these last few weeks, this is a matchup that really does favor the Bears. And I think the numbers bear it out. I'm not just being a homer. Bears get into the 30s and win. The Giants are going to score some because the Bears defense just isn't that good. But
Right.
that's my thought.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bears 34-24 as my prediction. That
Okay.
maybe even more than
Other
34. I don't know.
games
But,
around. Oh, and we should note Bears getting mostly healthy where they can, so not the guys on IR. But Swift will be back. TJ Edwards looks like the only guy who's going to be out that's not on IR that matters.
mm,
Obviously, you got Jalen and Gordon and all those guys still hurt, but they're getting mostly everybody else back. Cole Kmet came out of the game. He looks like he's good to go. Unfortunately, we are recording this a couple hours before the final injury report,
yeah.
so don't hold us too hard to that. Okay, other games around the league and the division that we always do.
Yes.
Our old friends, the Baltimore Ravens, travel to Minnesota. 12
Minnesota.
o'clock on Fox. Who you got?
Oh, I like the Ravens there with Um, Lamar back. His game back last week. It
Vintage.
yeah, 4 touchdowns, right? He didn't run as much
Did he
though.
break a sweat?
I don't think he broke a
Was he
sweat.
trying at all?
I don't think so.
Just
But yeah, but quite
walk in the
effortless.
park kind of stuff.
So Ravens are 4.5
Did you
point.
know that somehow the Vikings beat the Lions, and that actually gives them a better record right now than the Ravens going into this game? They're 4-4. Baltimore's still trying to recover from their start. They're 3-5, and they're gonna win the division. I'm gonna
There,
keep
yeah.
saying it. But
That's
because Minnesota has a better record, I'm gonna just stupidly pick Minnesota. It makes no sense at all.
whoa.
Okay,
They are at home, so maybe. Yeah.
Detroit, Detroit at the Jaden Daniels-less Washington Commanders.
Yeah, this is going to be a bad game for Washington. Whatever good juju they had last year, it's completely gone. Even before Daniels got hurt, they only put up 7 points, I think, right, last week. So yeah,
Mhm.
the I like Detroit there. They're favored by like 8 or 8.5, something like that. So even
Yeah,
though
it's like 8.
even though it's not really revenge from last year, I think it's going to be a pounding uh, that the Commanders get from the Lions. The Dan
I will
Quinn.
also pick the Lions because they too have more wins than their opponent.
I like your
Consistent.
strategy.
I have a Commanders. I have a great Commanders hot take. Sure to not at all age well, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think their offense has had a couple games where it looked better with Mariota than Daniels this year. I
Whoa!
think Daniels is playing pretty bad. And now, of course, he's hurt, which stinks. So I don't like it when the young quarterbacks get hurt. But I don't think he was looking all that good anyway. Not that anyone with a brain would start Mariota over Daniels if he was healthy.
Right?
I'm just saying there's been a couple games where they dropped 40 with Mariota, and I'm like, it looks pretty clunky with Daniels. I don't know. Just
Yeah, and
mentioning it, but totally picking the Lions still.
the league figures you out,
All
and you
right.
want to counterpunch, So maybe he won't be able to as well. Well, when he's back, that is, I guess.
And our last one for you here in the division. We can go back to the league if you want. Monday night. Finally, a Monday night one. Really worth watching. Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 1.5. About as tight as it gets.
Yeah, they're at home. It's at Lambeau, okay, but it's the Eagles are the defending champs. I maybe this is a bit homerism, but I think the Eagles are going to beat them by um, a comfortable amount. I do not understand why the Packers keep getting the love that they do. No pun intended. Wow, I'm so funny.
You should
Um,
always intend your puns, you coward.
I did not.
I
I
love that line.
promise that usually I
Oh
do,
my
but that would
gosh.
I they were bad against
I couldn't.
Carolina, and Jordan Love was
Very bad.
bad, and they were bad in their other loss to Cleveland, and they tied the Cowboys. So why are people still calling them a Super Bowl contender? You know,
Because they look at the talent on the defense, I guess. I
maybe.
mean, they like they're going to show up for a big game kind of team. This game's hard to pick because I don't trust either of these Super Bowl contenders, even though I do think they are Super Bowl contenders, especially Philly. But like they've both been very hot cold.
Yeah, but
It's
the
not
Eagles,
looked as good for Philly this year, but the
yeah,
Eagles seem inevitable a lot of times too.
yeah. So
But I picked the Lions and the Vikings because they had more wins than their opponents. In this matchup, Philly has 6 wins, Green Bay has 5.
so you're taking the
But I'm trolling. So I'm taking the Packers.
Packers.
Clean sweep for the division.
Yeah, okay.
That's for you, former student Tim.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, they do seem to be able to turn it on when they want to, like against Pittsburgh. Packers looked good against Pittsburgh, but they just oh,
Also, huge injury, by the way, we should talk about for a
oh
second
Tucker
on Green
Kraft.
Bay, too. But that might have been their most important player on offense. He was
Hmm.
crushing teams.
He's
He's
been great.
great.
He's been a
That
fantastic.
is a big loss.
Yeah. Um, how did you see, did you see the Love throw that should have been picked off their fourth?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
mean, it was fourth down, so I guess it's like the time to do it, but gosh, it's funny.
should have been a pick six. But then the Lambeau faithful were booing. I haven't heard
They
that
were
in a
booing.
while.
Jordan Love has some of the most ridiculously lucky throws, and we've always called him luck. And then I'm like, he does it so much. Maybe I'd be wrong to call it luck. And then he'll do something like that, and you're like, and that's like the worst play a quarterback is going to have on tape
Yep.
in terms, like at least as far as like the throw is concerned.
But
It
he
was like he was so open he dropped it.
right, he
The
got
defender was open.
Love got lucky on that it was dropped because that was a pick six if the guy catches it.
Yeah, probably.
So
Yeah.
he even got lucky there.
Did you hear did you hear Romeo Dobbs talking about Tucker Craft?
No. Oh yes,
Yeah, I sent it
better
to the group, I
play.
think. Oh man, that's the funniest thing ever.
He
I
said
don't like having the Packer be hilarious. I'm like, did he mean to do this? But he's like, he's in a better place now.
like,
Like he's passed away.
that's the worst ACL tear I've ever heard of. Then you know,
Yeah, that's
wow,
crazy.
he's in a better.
And then he's like, next question. Like he
Like he
was really
realized what he's
upset.
like.
I
Oh,
don't know
it
what was going on with that
must be a
interview.
great training room that the Packers have in Lambeau.
But he's a treat with his huge Guardian cap that seems even bigger than everyone else's
It
Guardian
does.
cap. He's just like a bobblehead out there.
Yep. Good for him though. I think
So
he's
and
players
then
for that, you know. I mean, and any kind of brand
yeah, he should be doing.
protection.
I mean, if you've had, I think Brisker needs to wear it.
Yes.
Marshawn Johnson wears one.
Yep.
If you have a ton of concussions in the history, please wear it. And
Hmm.
I can't help but then segue to the sad news. And I don't, I mean, it's ending on a drag, I guess, but it's just crazy to me. We had this happen with Gaines Adams, however many years ago, a guy dying way too young that was an active player. But obviously, Breland committing suicide, apparently. That's what they seem to be saying. I don't know if there's going to be a change after further investigation or whatever, but
I saw.
that's just insane. So, prayers to his family and anyone that's friends and close to him, former teammates and everything. That it's just like you hear that news yesterday, Tuesday, whatever day,
Tuesday, I
and you're
think.
like, yeah, it was no,
But
it was
Wednesday.
yesterday, and it happened like Wednesday overnight,
Yes. Right. Right. Right.
right? And then the news broke and Thursday morning is what it is. And you're like, you suspect something, you know, fentanyl or car crash and things like that. And it's even like worse than you thought. And there's a kind of preachy dad mode here, but like there's a powerful truth behind this that we need to do better as a collective, as a football nation as a whole. The guy just scored a touchdown on a blocked kick, and you'd think he'd be happy for that reason. But mental health isn't so simple.
Yep.
And like whatever's going on there, and Dak is one of the like players who champions mental health as much as anybody, right? The quarterback on the guy's team. And so you just never know what people are going through. And I saw some psychologists breaking some of this down too, and I thought it was a really interesting point. It kind of shook me a little bit, like the idea that he'd scored the touchdown could have contributed to an escalated depression, though they don't really know what the diagnoses were. I mean, we'll get more info on this whole thing, I'm sure.
Wow.
But because you're supposed to be happy and then you don't feel happy, you think there's something further wrong with you. And that's the way the mind works, but that's not actually true. And that's why
Right.
we need to encourage people to get professional help and not make it so taboo. And that's why I love Dak because he's not afraid to do that. And a lot of players do the whole macho ethos and he doesn't. And then for it to be a guy on his team, it's like I'm sure he'll push it even more now. But just didn't want to leave that story in the dust.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
So
glad you said something. It's a very, very important topic to me as well as someone who has struggled with depression and anxiety, and I've taken meds for it for a long time now. Grateful for the medication. Grateful for the therapy when I was able to get it, or when I really needed it. And yeah, we do need to do better, and we need to be better at saying that it's okay to struggle with it, and to get help that is needed, and keep trying to break that stigma that it's a sign of weakness or a sign of Yeah, because I know personally.
Right. We don't say that about people that need medicine for their heart or they're diabetic or
Right,
whatever.
right,
There shouldn't
yeah,
be a stigma to any of it.
and I know from personal experience that depression lies to you, like what you were saying um, earlier. It convinces you of what is real is a facade, and that yeah, it's horrible. I really would not wish depression on my worst enemy for those reasons. So yeah, get help if you're struggling. Talk to someone, get help, and help break the stigma. Because yeah, guys who are on the Dallas Cowboys making millions of dollars, scoring touchdowns on national TV, it can touch anyone. It can touch anyone.
Yep. Well said. One last anecdote on this. So Wednesday is my work from home research write day, which usually means work at a coffee house in the morning.
Nice.
And so I'm there, my usual place, and waiting on a drink. I was actually getting ready to leave because I was going to take a drink to my wife. So I was waiting on her drink at this point. Been there a couple hours already. And this sweet old man comes up to me. He's, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm good. How are you? And he said something that really stuck with me. And I was like, this is a good mantra. If you're kind of cranky, it's a good little thing I tucked away in the back pocket. I wasn't cranky, but I was like, I got to remember this one. He's like, I'm doing better than I think I am.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, that is good.
It's a little more profound coming from an old guy kind of shuffling along, but I thought that's a good perspective.
That is.
It's easy for any of us to think the worst about us, especially in the era of social media when everyone's living their best life. Of course they are, because they're not going to tell you about the bad stuff usually in those ways. And then your life isn't so perfect. Yeah, well, neither is theirs. Stop the comparisons. But I'm doing better than I think I am. I thought it was a great
Yeah,
answer. And you used to the answer being a big fat nothing from people randomly out and about if you happen to be asked. And I was like,
I'm
huh,
good. I'm
I
good.
like it.
Yeah, I may borrow that coffee shop man. Thank you.
It's right. Coffee shop old guy.
Coffee shop. Coffee shop.
There we go. All right. There. Now we've ended on a better note.
Yes, sounds good. All right. Thanks everyone for listening to this episode. We will talk to you at some point after the Bears Giants game. Until then, be well. Look out for each other. Have a good restful Saturday, hopefully, and bear down, friends.
You are indeed a dip from Chicago.
How dare you, sir?
I am wounded!
The Bears.
You have to understand how special it is to be a Chicago Bear.
My Chicago Bears. I love the Bears.